I think everyone's talking about Gordon Sondland's testimony that's coming up. Tell us what you expect to hear out of Sondland.
Well, the Democrats have built this up so much, but of course, it's like so many of their other witnesses where, they said this is going to be the one that makes the link, and then there's never a link. And the bottom line is, even with Sondland's testimony, the whole basis behind impeachment was that there was some quid pro quo. They found out nobody even cared about that, so they used the term bribery.
Tell me about that. So they changed. There was a meeting behind closed doors with the Democrats.
Democrats are actually basing this on focus
and
group.
Tell us how that went down.
Which tells you what this is really all about. And so they found out that the public really isn't moved by quid pro quo, which was their original allegation of the whistleblower. So they started calling it bribery. And so we started asking all the witnesses, did you see any bribery? And every one of the Democrats' star witnesses said no, they didn't see any bribery. They didn't see any impeachable offenses. And so why are you trying to impeach a president if your own star witnesses say they didn't see anything illegal? Then you had last week the Ukraine foreign minister. When they started leaking all of this stuff about what Sondland might say, the Ukraine foreign minister came out and said there was never any link between money, the aid that they got, and investigations. And of course, President Zelensky himself said that on the call with President Trump. And even with all of that, they still want to impeach the president. And I'll tell you what it's really about. It's not about what they think the president might have done wrong, because they've been trying for 3 years to find something on him, and they haven't. It's that they have no candidate for president. And many Democrats have even said publicly, if they don't impeach him, the president will get reelected. The problem is, Eric, that's not why you impeach a president.
No, not at all. How is Adam Schiff handling this investigation? What's his end game?
Well, I think this whole impeachment has really turned out poorly for Adam Schiff, because it's shown that he's trying to run things in a Soviet-style way, where he's literally stopping witnesses from answering questions. Now imagine this, even yesterday, you've got Vindman there, again, one of their star witnesses, and then you've got Adam Schiff, both claiming they don't know the whistleblower, which, by the way, doesn't pass the smell test, when in their very next statement, they're stopping Republicans from asking questions because they say the question will reveal the name of the whistleblower. So how do you say you don't know the whistleblower and then in the next sentence say, hey, don't answer that question or else you'll reveal the name of the whistleblower? Again, doesn't pass the smell test, but they're continuing to shut our ability out of we can't even call our own witnesses. It's got to be the whole Schiff show. Whoever he brings up, he tells the witnesses what they can and can't answer. And again, they want to call this a fair process. It doesn't pass the smell test.
You tweeted something, and we'll throw it up on the screen if we can, that Democrat impeachment obsession started with Russian interference, crossed it out, Russian collusion, crossed it out, emoluments, crossed it out, Mueller report, obstruction, quid pro quo, bribery, witness intimidation. Tell me about that one.
Well, and this really was a way, as I was going through some of this stuff, I said, wait a minute, look at all the different things they've accused President Trump of since the day he took the oath of office, and every one of them has been debunked. And instead of moving on and say, hey, how do we work with Republicans to lower drug prices, or to make sure our military has the tools they need, or secure our border, they're not doing any of that. They are obsessed with impeaching the president.
Do you think any of these witnesses have been coached?
Oh, I think there's real concerns, starting with the whistleblower. The whistleblower, think about this, Eric, didn't initially go to the Inspector General. They went to Adam Schiff's staff. Mm-hmm. The whistleblower's own lawyer has tweets from January 2017 saying they want to start a coup and impeach the president in January of 2017, and that's the whistleblower's attorney. You wonder why they don't want the whistleblower to come forward and testify.
How does the media allow Adam Schiff to claim he didn't know who the whistleblower was until somewhere in the middle of September, when Adam Schiff's staff was approached by the whistleblower? The New York Times proved that Schiff knew about it in early August.
It's really hard with a straight face to look at this and hear him say he doesn't know the name of the whistleblower. And again, as he's saying that, he's stopping us from asking certain questions because he says it'll expose the name of the whistleblower.
So do we want to know?
It's either one or the other. It can't be both.
Are they asking, Jordan and Nunes asking the questions of witnesses so that they can out the name of the whistleblower? Why is that? Why do we want to do that? Why do the Republicans want to do that? Why do we want to know who it is?
Yeah, we've been trying to get to the facts. And one of the real questions, and it was asked directly to Vindman, who all did you talk to? Because he didn't follow the chain of command. He shows up in his military uniform, and we appreciate his service to our country. But if you were a military person, the one thing you know is chain of command. He didn't go through the chain of command if he saw something wrong that he wanted to report. And that was asked, and I think it was exposed. So he went and told other people, including some people, by the way, Eric, who he might not have been legally allowed to tell because he was on a private conversation that was classified. You can't just go and tell your friends and your brother. You can't just tell anybody you want because there's a kind of a unique ability if you're in the intelligence community to be on that call listening to the president talk to a foreign leader. You can't just go and talk about it with other people. And if you have a political agenda against the president, to tell other friends of yours that you hope will just get it out to the media. And so if he did in fact go talk to the whistleblower, and by the way, he testified that he didn't talk to the whistleblower, he put himself in an interesting box, then why don't you just tell us the names of all the people you spoke to? Because it is very relevant who you spoke to, because some of these people may not have been legally allowed to be told that classified information.